triumphant and gallant return applause to a British wrestling legend, a star of Ring of Honor, a star of TNA, and a man who left the in-ring competitive side of this industry too soon in Nigel McGuinness, but he returns to a ring and he returns to NGW right here for our main event because he is the special guest referee when for the first time ever on national and local television, the Control's unstoppable monster, Rampage Brown, will take on Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson. It's a huge, epic contest with a huge, epic special guest referee. And this crowd showing their appreciation to a man who wrestled Daniel Bryan in this building. Just weeks ago that this is a match that would even be on the cards. Rampage Brown against Zack Gibson. If you've been following this series, you will know the epic, rapid and intense series of events that led to this showdown. But that slice of NGW's past is about to become the present as Rampage Brown makes his way to the ring. Rampage Brown has been sent by Richie West almost as punishment for Zack Gibson putting his hands on the leader of the Control. Remember, Richie West offered an invitation to Zack Gibson to join the Control should he beat Nathan Cruz for the title. There was a bungled attempt to bring that title to Gibson, despite the fact he didn't want the assistance of West in the Control, and as a result, many believe it cost Gibson the belt that he's wanted for so long. That's what's led to this contest, and you can bet the undisputed NGW champion Nathan Cruz is watching with bated breath, as is this crowd, as Rampage Brown's opponent and the hometown Liverpool hero Zack Gibson is about to make his way into the mecca of Liverpudlian wrestling right here in our main event. And listen to this ovation for a man who won the first ever Davey Boy Smith Cup Memorial Tournament and won it no less in this very building. A man that has represented the hopes and dreams of wrestling in Liverpool for so long. And now he comes for possibly his biggest ever showdown yet. Zack Gibson has had a fantastic 12 to 18 months because as part of the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup Tournament, he received major national television time. It led all the way to him receiving a WWE tryout and helped him put the Liverpool wrestling scene on the map. And Rampage Brown, look at this! I was going to say on the map for the first time since the likes of Robbie Brookside and Doc Dean, the Liverpool lads. I know Robbie Brookside now works for the WWE and is a big advocate of Zack Gibson, so you can bet that some of the most important people in the international wrestling scene will be watching this one. Rampage Brown, remember, a former contracted talent for the WWE and also part of TNA British Boot Camp too. And those two experiences left this man even more frustrated. And if there's one thing that is scarier than Rampage Brown, it is a frustrated Rampage Brown. And this one, well underway. Gibson sends Brown off into the ropes and a back elbow. Gibson with the height advantage. Rampage Brown with the size and strength advantage. Send off into the corner. And Rampage there, follows Gibson in. Is he going to go for that lung blower? But no, drop kick from the second rope. And you can feel the heat in this room. Listen to this crowd, there is no question whose side they are on, but they know that their hero is in for potentially the fight of his life. Double drop kick to the outside sends Rampage Brown into the crowd there. That kid, that is a bad move. A bad move, and if I was the man, you want to move those people out of the way, because Zack Gibson, whoa, what's he going? No, wait, whoa! Oh! Thank God security was able to move those people out of the way, because Zack Gibson put his life in the hands of a concrete floor with this dive through the ropes. Taking Rampage Brown, turning his body into a missile. And this crowd is alive in the early goings of our huge main event here on British Wrestling Weekly. And this building has seen epic contests and epic events. The first ever Ring of Honor show in the UK in this building. The first ever TNA show in the UK was in this building. The first ever King of Europe Cup was in this building. And the finals of the Davey Boy Smith Memorial Cup was in this building. But sitting at ringside, you will argue, I swear, that the atmosphere right here in our main event is equal to all of them. The crowd is hot, the crowd is on fire, and the crowd is firmly behind Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson, who is in for the fight of his life if he sends Rampage Brown and Nigel McGuinness looking on, and he is making a smart decision, because as much as being a special guest referee as an important job, what man, well, whoa, and here comes the Proven, well, what's going on here? The Proven now coming out, and hopefully this is where we see Nigel McGuinness and Rampage Brown there using that distraction. Yeah, Nigel McGuinness is telling him to go to the back. I was just saying, this is where I hope we see Nigel McGuinness come into play, and he did, but the distraction was just enough for Rampage Brown to get an early advantage against Zack Gibson. Gibson hit that guardrail hard. So much so that Nigel McGuinness had to go and check on him, but the count is on. The count is on. We are going to have to take a very short commercial break, but do not go anywhere, because our huge main event continues. Listen to this crowd. Can Zack Gibson get back in the ring? Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Well, back with you here in our main event for British Wrestling Weekly, and what a main event it is. The Control's unstoppable monster, Rampage Brown, takes on Zack Gibson in the Liverpool Olympia, and the man who counted 2 just there on the shoulders of Liverpool's Zack Gibson was the one and only British wrestling legend himself, Nigel McGuinness. You see here, during our commercial break, Gibson was able to break that count. It was very close, but this one continued. But so did the onslaught of Rampage Brown. And the rest of the break saw Gibson taking a pounding, just like that elbow drop, but still kicking out. You can really feel the big fight feel, and this crowd has not given up on their support for Zack Gibson. Listen to him. Over 1,000 fans here at the Liverpool Olympia, and he needs all the help he can get, because that headlock there by Rampage Brown is just vicious. Look at that. Have you ever seen a headlock applied with the same level of force as when Rampage Brown does it? I'm almost speechless from the level of intensity of a Rampage Brown headlock, and that's before he hits the heavy artillery, which I'm sure he is preparing Gibson for. This crowd is so behind Gibson, it is literally making me sweat. It's so hot in this building for the main event of British Wrestling Weekly, and you can bet that all of British Wrestling is going to be watching on for this one, including the undisputed NGW Heavyweight Champion, who you've got to believe is going to be in line to have a match with either of these two, because Rampage Brown is the man he beat for that title, who has had no rematch, and Gibson is the man that he fought last only for it to be the interference, arguably, of Richie West in the control that cost Gibson his shot at that belt. It's what led to this match right now. So Nathan Cruz will be watching with eager eyes to see who comes out on top. But let's not forget that Cruz will be here next week in our main event, in the part of NGW's first ever Scotland v England series, as he takes on the controversial Scottish standout Lionheart. You heard from him earlier, and that's a match I'm looking forward to alongside Lincoln's high-flying 19-year-old standout Robbie X against Joe Hendry. That's all next week, but right now our main event continues on as Gibson fights with big right hands. And skull to the chin and the jaw of Rampage Brown. Was it enough to stun him? Rampage charges and hits the pole. My God, the ring moved. The entire ring moved with the force of Rampage Brown's huge shoulder hitting that steel ring post. Was it enough for Zack Gibson to get the advantage that he needs? Because Nigel McGuinness has a count on. Both men are down, and we're at 3. As this crowd looks on, as these two warriors of British professional wrestling collide in an NGW ring for British Wrestling Weekly's main event. Both men back up, and Rampage first with a forearm. Big reply there from Gibson, and a return from Brown. And these guys groggy, but nothing will stop these men from continuing. Rampage is called the unstoppable monster for a reason, and Liverpool's #1. Oh, and a headbutt there. Did you see that? Rampage Brown with a headbutt to the face of Gibson. There is steam coming off the head of Liverpool's #1, but still, he refuses to go down. And you can hear these forearms echo around the historic Liverpool Olympia. He ducks that, and Gibson flapjack there in the centre of the ring, directly onto the arm and shoulder. The Rampage Brown just had collide with a steel ring post. And now you see, yes, Gibson going for that Shankly Gate. My God, I hadn't even done the math, because that's the shoulder that Gibson uses in the Shankly Gate. Rampage out of that, but Gibson holds onto that arm. This guy is a technician, and he will go for that Shankly Gate, and overhead Tasplex there. Lands Rampage Brown down hard. Ref, yeah, well, that's a slightly fast count there from McGuinness. I don't think that was intentional, but Gibson there went for that Shankly Gate, but when he saw the opportunity for a pinfall, he went for that as well. Because whereas Gibson is methodical and is normally the aggressor, in this match, he must play a defensive strategy for the majority of the contest, and when he has the opportunity, go for that win. And that win is going to come for the Shankly Gates, but a big boot there. And when it comes from Rampage Brown, that big is in capital letters, underlined with an exclamation mark. And listen to this crowd once again. I can't remember any wrestler in Britain who got this continued support, apart from the last time we saw the show stealer Nathan Cruz in Hull City Hall. It's like Cruz and Gibson in Liverpool and Hull respectively are like two planets that are colliding for a title, and an obstacle in that is the former champion Rampage Brown, who has a roll up there, ref in position, but Gibson goes through, and oh my God, he's got the Shankly Gates out of nowhere. Zack Gibson has the Shankly Gates applied in the centre of the ring. Rampage Brown is down, the ref is in position, and we may just see the unstoppable monster tap. This crowd calling for it. Are we going to see it? Rampage Brown closer to those ropes than he does. Man, could you imagine that? Seeing Rampage Brown lose once on this programme in so long was a big deal. Seeing him tap would be even bigger. And Richie West now, don't get distracted, Zack, because Richie West, if we've said it before, it's worth saying again, is a master manipulator in the British wrestling industry. And it's at times like this, when he's charges in trouble, that he becomes his most dangerous. But Brown there, Samoan drop. And Gibson landed so hard on his side. And Brown, still, you can see the pain from that arm. But that landing there for Gibson, and Gibson kicks out. But that landing was not a flat, nice landing. It's enough to whinge. But this crowd still will not give up on their number one, Zack Gibson. And he goes for that suplex, lands on his feet there. Back elbow there. Puts Rampage back in control and goes straight after his prayers. He catches the leg, but oh, look at that. Gibson straight on the arm and lung blower. But that was not on the lungs. That was on the arm and shoulder. And oh, here comes Sam Wilder, Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness, yes. The British wrestling legend has laid his first forearm on an opponent for the first time in years. And as far as this commentator goes, it was well deserved and it felt good. And McGuinness now chasing Cash Crash out of this building. Man, we are getting dangerously close to the end of this show. And we're going to keep running as long as we can, because Rampage Brown, no, Zack Gibson there, Rampage Brown, oh, sit down slam from a suplex position. Falcon Arrow there in the centre of the ring. But there is no referee. And Richie Wilder says, oh, there is a second referee. There is a second referee. No, oh, and Gibson there kicks out at one. Richie West's interference led to Nigel McGuinness leaving, and that may have just cost Rampage Brown the match, because when the chips were down for Gibson, there was no referee to counter fall on him. These guys have gone now for around 20 minutes, back and forth, and the heavy artillery. Oh my God, Rampage going for that pile driver. If he hits that, it's got to be all, but Gibson rolls through. Ref down, 2 and 3. Richie West. Oh, how many times on this programme will we see the interference of Richie West go up? Oh. Rampage Brown. Look, there's a chair in the ring. The ref hasn't seen it. And no way, no, not like this. There's a DDT on that chair. The ref hasn't seen it, no. 2-0, no, not like this. Oh, Rampage Brown has beaten Zack Gibson with the illegal use of that steel chair.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rampage.
Oh, this is just, look at this, the referee. This is exactly why Richie West should be banned from ringside. Nigel McGuinness managed to pull it off last week again. No! Oh! McGuinness has just pulled down the arm. Hold on. Oh! McGuinness has reversed the decision. Hold on! We're almost out of time. We can't go to Charlie Shakespeare. We have to stay with this right now. And oh my God! Cash Crash has just struck the British wrestling legend Nigel McGuinness. No way. We're gonna go as far into this as we can until the next programme shoots a start. Don't go anywhere, because the control of putting the boots to Zack Gibson and Nigel McGuinness right here, Rampage Brown on Nigel McGuinness. This is not looking. And here's Nathan Cruz. We'll be right back next week.